So it's me, Brian, again, and I just started thinking about something, like about senior living and senior this, senior that, and I started thinking about what is a senior exactly. Technically, I'm a senior because I'm over 65. I guess legally you're a senior at 65 plus. Well, I'm 68, so I'm senior plus. But I don't consider myself a senior. I get seniors discounts, sure. I won't turn that down, right? I'm not going to say that, well, because I don't feel like a senior, I'm not gonna take a senior discount. But like so many people look at seniors and think of them as these feeble, lackluster, has been, worn out, burned out, like an old workhorse, an old plow horse. Just put it out to pasture. And unfortunately, a lot of people that consider themselves a senior, that's exactly what they do to themselves. They don't want to be a burden on society, or their kids or whatever, so they check themselves into a care home or live in a basement suite somewhere or something like that, and they're afraid to go outside. They get to the point where they bump into everything with their vehicles because they start losing their coordination, and yet you get seniors like myself that refuse to think of themselves as a senior. And what I just did today, I have a lot of videos where I'm on hikes. I like being outdoors. And where I am right now, there's a lot of people half my age who wouldn't have been able to climb up here. That's not a brag or anything. It's what I do for myself. And so many millions and millions and millions of older people, seniors, whatever you want to call them, don't do anything for themselves, and they don't want to be a burden, and they don't want to try to get themselves back into shape. If so many seniors are afraid to go outside at night because they're afraid of tripping, falling, or they're afraid that a bunch of hooligan teenagers or something are going to come up to them and push them down on the sidewalk, and then they won't be able to get up. And in some cases, that is a legitimate worry, because a lot of people are in that kind of shape that if they did trip, fall, get pushed over, whatever, harassed by a bunch of hooligan teenagers, that they are going to have a problem. And I won't. I don't. I can still take care of myself, and I don't want anybody taking care of me, and I don't. It's not a case of, oh, I don't want to be a burden to society. I don't give a shit about society. Society can go put it in a pipe and smoke it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm here for me. And I still have a lot of enjoyment out of life. I still enjoy myself. I'm still in good enough shape that I can. And I guess the premise behind my videos is to show that like I said, it's not a brag. I'm not bragging about, well, I'm in better shape than everybody else. It's not a brag. It's a state of mind. It's a way of life. It's a way I've always been. And if you lose it, a lot of people, when they lose what they had, like fitness, whatever, financial, whatever it happens to be, they don't bounce back. They just kind of sit in a corner with a blankie and cry in their milk and complain about how cruel life was to them and how unfair it is and all the rest of this kind of crap. instead of doing something about it. If you were in good shape and something happened to take that away, as long as you can still move, you can still get back into shape. You might not get into the shape that you were in your 20s and 30s and whatnot. I mean, for me, I still mountain bike. I'm looking at getting a downhill bike this year because my mountain bike is 44 years, 42 years, whatever it is. I'm not going to try to do the math in my head right now. It's one thing I can't do. And it ain't age related. It's just never been good at math. But so I want to, my youngest son wants to go mountain biking because he is good. He does have bikes. He used to be a motocross racer and whatnot. And I used to drag him all over the hills, half acres, to go to this race, that race. I loved it. But I don't have a dirt bike anymore, but I do have a mountain bike, and I do want to have a bike that I can at least go downhill with it and know that I have a better chance of getting to the bottom of it in one piece, because my bike does not have suspension, and you kind of need that when you get into a little washout area before a corner. Probably a good idea to have a bike that's made for what you're trying to do. But that's what I do for myself, and I don't pretend that everybody can do it, but I can almost insist that you can get off the couch, you can get a membership in a gym, start lifting some light weights, start a program. A lot of people are intimidated by going into a gym because they think everybody's going to laugh. Oh, I got skinny legs and I haven't done any training for years or never done it at all, and they're going to laugh at me. And that's, you couldn't be further from the truth, because anybody in a gym will take their hat off to anybody coming in to start working out. They're not going to laugh at them. And if they do, the rest of the folks would kind of pick them up and toss them out. There's a whole community out there that's accepting. I know that there's elements in society that would push an old person down on a sidewalk, take their wallet, take some old lady's purse or whatever. Yes, there is. And those people should be, well, like they used to do in the old days, but I can't say that on YouTube at this point because they probably wouldn't like it. But anybody that's over 50 would know exactly what I mean. Us old folks, we are still able to participate. We're still able to communicate. We have a vast world of knowledge that most people, even younger people, would kind of get a kick out of listening to. Like what I used to do when I was younger. I did this and I did that, and a lot of that stuff is not. It doesn't exist anymore because it's been taken over by bots, AI, whatever. But we do have something to contribute, and we are worth something. And if you feel too weak or too insignificant, then do something about it. Don't just sit on the couch watching dumb drama shows on TV or whatever. Get out and do something. Like, get together. And I would love to form a community of people. They don't have to be like-minded. They don't have to be people that have my mindset. I have a fairly rare mindset. But I think it's transferable, and that's what I like to show. That's why I'm doing these videos, because I used to work in a care home, and what I saw, and it wasn't how they're treated per se, it's how the system is with them, like what they feed them, and lack of exercise. I mean, if you go to a care home that you're paying $5,000 or $10,000 a month, and they've got a gym, and they got a trainer, and they got a nutritionist, and they got all this rest of this kind of stuff, yeah, you know, you've got a fighting chance. You go to a subsidized care home, they do the best they can. They really do. I mean, I worked in one, and I saw the effort that was put in, but they're hogtied with a system and rules and fundamentals, and it's kind of like a cattle car, you know. It's they fill it up, and one of the cows die, well, then replace them with another one. There's a waiting list. Well, let's get rid of that waiting list, is kind of my attitude about it. But so that's just my thought at the moment. Maybe that's what I should have called my channel, Thoughts of the Moment. Maybe I will, I don't know. Anyways, there will be more to come, and I'd be curious. I'd love to see comments by anybody, any age. This isn't just aimed at people that are old. It's people that are young that don't want to get old, maybe, because it's all up to you. Anyway, so like I said, there'll be more to come. Brian out.